Well, good morning, everyone. It's good to be here with you again. My name is Dr. Rich Spulita, and my wife is Mary Catherine Spulita, and we live in Athens, Georgia.
大家好，很高兴又跟大家见面了。我叫 Rich，我的太太叫 Mary Catherine，我们是住在美国的佐治亚州。
So this morning we want to take a look at humans and talk about why humans are not just another species of ape. The theory of evolution, of course, says that humans are just another species of ape. We want to talk about why that is not true.
今天我们想跟大家讲一下我们人类，主要是为什么人类不仅仅是另外一种猿或猿的另外一个物种。
Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to compare these two different theories of human origins. On the left, what you see is a depiction of the biblical account of the creation of Adam, and it's represented by this painting by the Italian Renaissance painter Michelangelo.
首先呢，我们比较一下我们目前的两种理论，一个呢就是创造论、神创论，另外一个显然就是进化论。你在图片上看到左边的这一张是意大利文艺复兴时期非常有名的画家米开朗基罗的名著，这是上面是右上角是创世者、创造者神，左下角是亚当，刚刚被创造出来。
And on the right is the very popular depiction or the image of human evolution that is portrayed by many evolutionists. And what it shows is it shows a progression from this chimpanzee-like creature through various stages and finally ending in modern man.
那右边这张图大家都更加熟悉了，是一个进化论者经常用的组图。首先是一个像猿猴一样的动物，然后慢慢的开始渐渐演化成现代人的样子，最后就变成了我们现代的人。
And of course, this is not merely a hypothetical question, because the way a person answers this question, is going to inform, it's going to reveal what we believe is true about ourselves and also how we look at other people.
当然了，这两种理论哪个是真的？这种回答或是这个问题本身并不是一个假想的问题，因为这个很重要。至于人们要用哪一种观点来回答问题，是至关重要的。
So according to the biblical narrative, you are a special and deliberate creation of God, and you are alive today because God wants you here. And according to this, your life has true meaning and purpose.
按照神创论呢，你是上帝的，或者是我们是神非常特殊的跟特意的创造。我们今天在这里，是因为神想我们在这里，我们的生活是有真正的意义和目的的。
On the other side of this, on the right, according to the theory of naturalistic evolution, you are just another species. You're just another organism that is an African ape, just like a chimpanzee, and you evolved according to time and chance, and ultimately you're just here as an accident.
那另外一种进化论显而易见的是说呢，只是说我们都是大猩猩或者黑猩猩，就是某一只非洲猿猴慢慢进化来的，完全是因为时间的问题跟机缘巧合，我们今天在这儿纯属偶然。
Okay, so before we take a deeper look at some of the beliefs of the modern evolutionists, I want to read what the Bible, and the Bible is the Word of God, says about how humans came to exist.
那在我们进一步讨论之前，我想跟大家读一下，看看圣经里面是怎么讲的。圣经是神的话。
Okay, so this is from the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible, and we're going to read we're going to read a few verses from Genesis chapter 1 and then a few verses from Genesis chapter 2.
那圣经里面的第一本书叫做《创世纪》，我们会从《创世纪》的第1章里面读几句，也从《创世纪》的第2章里面看看神是怎么讲的。
So I'll read here verse 27. It says, So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female, he created them.
那创世纪的1章27节是这样讲的，神就照着自己的形象造人，乃是照着他的形象造男造女。
Okay, and this is from Genesis chapter 2. It says, When the Lord God made the earth and heavens, neither wild plants nor grains were, I gotta move the screen a little bit. Hold on. Were growing on the earth, for the Lord God had not yet sent rain to water the earth, and there were no people to cultivate the soil. Instead, springs came up from the ground and watered the land. And then here's the key verse, verse 7. Then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person.
这是创世纪的第2章。我等一下请大家特别注意第7节哈。那么他是这样讲的，是第2章的4到第7节说，创造天地的来历，在耶和华神造天地的日子乃是这样。野地还没有草木，田间的菜蔬还没有长起来，因为耶和华神还没有降雨在地上，也没有人耕地。但是雾气从地上腾，滋润遍地。耶和华神用地上的尘土造人，将生气吹在他的鼻孔里，他就成了有灵的活人，名叫亚当。
So of course, this is a very, very different story than the story of naturalistic evolution.
那显然这个听起来是跟自然选择的进化论是天壤之别的。
But I did, interestingly, I found this one point of similarity, something called the tree of life.
但是很有趣，我确实找到了一点点相似哈，两个理论里面都涉及到一棵树。
So both stories feature something that is referred to as the tree of life.
那每一种理论呢，都管这棵树叫做生命树。
And so on the left, you see a depiction of the evolutionary tree of life. And this describes how all living forms, according to this belief system, originated from a common ancestor billions of years ago.
那左边这个呢，所谓的生命树是进化论的生命树。显然你可以看到，它的最终所有目前的物种跟生命都指向树根下面，那就是最开始的一种原始的生物，是经过亿万年、百亿万年慢慢的进化来的。
And so a few weeks back, if you joined us a few weeks back, we talked about some reasons that this is scientifically impossible.
如果你还记得几个礼拜前我讲过，从科学角度来讲的话，这完全是不可能的。
Okay, and on the right, what you see is the tree of life, the biblical tree of life that we first read about in Genesis chapter 2. And this tree is located in the original paradise that is known as the Garden of Eden.
那右边你看到这个是圣经上讲的生命树，这棵生命树也是在创世纪的第2章里面讲得很清楚的，是神是存在神最初创造的伊甸园里。
And so Adam and Eve, the first man and the first woman, they had a choice to obey God and eat from the tree of life, or they could disobey God and bring shame, sin, and bring shame upon themselves by choosing to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And at the end of the lesson today, we'll return and talk about the tree of life.
那等一下我们还会回到生命树上来讲，这个故事就是当初神把人放在伊甸园里面，他们有2个选择，一个是说呢完全的顺服神，神说不能吃什么果子，他们就不吃；他们另外一个选择就是他们违背神，这样子就最终把罪带到世界上来。
Okay, so I want to move on now, and we'll talk about what the theory of evolution says is the origin of humans.
上面呢是一个概述，现在我们把我们的注意力先转移到人类进化论上面来，
So
看看
according,
他们说人是怎么来的。
according to the belief system of the evolutionary theorists, human beings are not an exception to the evolutionary process. We're just another animal species on this evolutionary tree.
那根据进化论呢，人没有什么特别的，它只是进化的一部分，跟其他的物种没有任何区别，是大猩猩或者是说黑猩猩，也就是另外一种大猿，因为它体型比较大哈，这种大的猿猴慢慢进化来的。
So according to the evolutionary tree of life, humans share a branch on the evolutionary tree right beside animals that to some degree resemble humans in terms of their body shape, their appearance, and their genetic makeup.
那根据这种理论呢，人的这些亲戚，所谓的近亲，在进化过程当中，就是这些跟人长得有一点点类似、相似之处的，这些图上的这些都是亲戚。
So specifically, the evolutionists argue that humans are just another species of what are called great apes. This would include two species of chimpanzees or chimps, gorillas, and orangutans.
那所以呢，根据这个理论，人最亲的亲戚就是这个黑猩猩，也就是 chimpanzee， 或者是 gorilla 叫大猩猩，也就是另外一种大猿。
So according to this theory, human beings, you and I, we make up a fifth species of great apes.
根据这个理论呢，我们是五种，就是分类里面的一种物种里面的一种大猿。
Okay, so what I want to do now is examine 3 lines of evidence that are commonly used by evolutionists to argue that humans are just another recently evolved species of apes, and we share a common ancestor with chimps, gorillas, and orangutans.
今天呢，我们主要讨论3种所谓的证据哈，是被这个进化论学者提出来的，来支持他们的理论，人是从猿进化来的。
Okay, so first we'll talk about alleged intermediate species, the so-called missing links between a common ancestor with the chimpanzees and modern humans.
那第一个呢，就是我们要讲到所谓的中间代或中间体，也就叫做这种没找到的中间环节哈，这个进化过程当中需要的这些中间环节，他们说找到了一些。
And then next we want to talk about the genetic similarities. This is one of the most common lines of evidence that the evolutionists appeal to make the case that humans evolved from a chimp-like ancestor.
第二方面，我们主要讨论一下基因，因为他们说猿跟人的基因非常相似，这是他们支持进化论的一个主要证据。
And then finally, we're actually not going to have time to talk about this one today, so it'll be a separate presentation. But it's my favorite. It's my favorite by far. I want to talk about the behavioral similarities, and then, of course, the great differences in psychology and in behavior between humans and animals like chimpanzees and gorillas.
最后一个题目其实是我最喜欢的，但是今天我们不会有时间，我们可以下次做一个专题，主要是讲有关人跟猿猴这种行为方面的类似度，或者说是不同的地方，无论是从实际上的这个动作呢，还是从心理的角度来讲，都很有意思。
Okay, so first of all, we'll take a look at this chart that's very commonly represented in evolutionary textbooks. Now, this is a bit of an oversimplification, but what this does is it represents or it depicts 4 of the alleged intermediate species that led to the existence of modern humans.
这个是这种进化论学里面的一个非常有名的，并且经常被引用的图片。你可以看到它里面主要是讲到了4个中间体，最后一个图当然是现在的人类，那所以前面是4个中间体。
Okay, so we'll start here on the far left with the Australopithecus.
我们从最左边的这个叫哈比斯人开始。
Okay, so the Australopithecus is alleged by evolutionists to have lived approximately 4 million years ago to 2 million years ago.
那这种也叫南方古猿属的人类呢，它是最早类人的，他们说是活在距今400到200万年前。
It was allegedly bipedal or bipedal, which means that it walked on 2 feet like we do.
主要他们认为说他们已经是直立用2只脚来走路了。
Its brain size was estimated to be around 425 cubic centimeters or cc's, or if you're not familiar with that, it's the same measure as a milliliter. And this would contrast with an average of about 1,300 cubic centimeters in modern humans.
那他们估计呢，这个南方古猿属这种人类，他们的脑容量是平均是425毫升。这个跟我们现代人比的话，现代人是平均是1350毫升。那它的范围是从800到1500毫升。
And the most popular iteration of the Australopithecus, that's a big word, it's a hard word to pronounce, but there's one called Lucy. And so when I say Lucy, you can just think of Australopithecus, but it's popularized by Lucy, and Lucy is based upon fossils that were found in Ethiopia. It's covered up on my screen, but I think it says 1973.
那么这种属呢，这个字挺难念的但是也就是叫做南方古猿最早的人类，最有名的代表就是一个叫 Lucy 的，这个它的化石被找到。那这个 Lucy 是在1974年的埃塞俄比亚被发现的。
Okay, I looked. It says 1974, so I was off by 1 year.
I got it right, Rich. No worries.
Okay, so a few years ago, I visited the Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., and I took these pictures that you see here of the Lucy display.
我几年前去华盛顿的自然博物馆，我拍了几张照片，这个就是其中2张在这个图片上你可以看到，左边的这个就是 Lucy 化石的展示。
And so this is just one part of an entire wing of the museum that is dedicated to convincing people that they are closely related to monkeys.
当然了，这个只是整个博物馆里面自然科学的一角。他们整个那个一部分那个馆就是专门来介绍人是怎么从最原始的生命转化成现在人类的。
And so, I mean, certainly there is there's a lot of scientific evidence here, but I want to the way that it's put together. If you study these things and you're honest, you'll realize that these displays are more a matter of art and imagination than they are of pure science.
当然了，我不能说里面它没有什么科学的东西它确实有些东西是根据科学的方式组成在一起的。但是如果你真的是一个认真做科学的话，你仔细看这些证据，就会发现说，他们这些摆设的这些东西呢，大部分都是更趋向于一种艺术，而不是严谨的科学。
So I want to take a close look at the skeleton of Lucy, and I also want to notice, okay, so as we take a close look here on the left, the skeleton of Lucy, notice that most of the skeleton is made up of black pieces.
所以我们要仔细看一下这个骨骼的这个骨架这个所谓的 Lucy 的骨架，你会发现它这个骨架上有2种颜色，一个是黑的，另外一种是有点像黄金色的或铜色的。
And then a small percentage of the skeleton is made up of pieces that are golden brown in color?
对，其中很小的一部分呢是由这种黄铜色的组成的。
So the question arises, of course, if you're thinking, what does this difference in color signify?
那为什么会有两种不同的颜色呢？它代表什么呢？
So it turns out that the golden brown pieces are the fossils of the Lucy skeleton that were actually discovered.
所以呢，你就会发现它这个古铜色的、黄色的是真正 Lucy 的骨骼，被挖掘出来的骨骼。
And the black pieces are a product of a lot of guesswork and, frankly, a lot of imagination that is based upon the presupposition, okay, the assumption or the presupposition that evolution is true.
那些黑色的呢，其实原来是出于科学家的推测，或者说是他们的想象，因为他们的预设就是这个 Lucy 应该是怎么样的，因为我们以前讲过哈，这个预设说，在他们的脑中根据进化论这个预设应该是怎么样，所以就根据这个预设呢，想象出来其他黑色部分应该是什么。
And so you'll notice I drew I highlighted the little I don't know what you call it, placard over Lucy's shoulder. And then it's a little blurry, sorry, but it fascinates me what it actually says, especially there at the end. It says that the rest of the skeleton, all of the black parts here, notice especially in the skull and the face, most of that's black, but it was filled in using a knowledge of human anatomy.
所以如果你们看到我拿黄笔把它画下来哈，这个就是 Lucy 的后面墙上的一段小说明。这个说明很有意思，它尤其是像下面一句讲的说，这些黑色的部分呢，因为是没找到，是科学家们根据他们的想象哈，而且是根据现代人他们应该是怎么样子把它补上。
And so, it's the question, you should ask the question, why human anatomy? Lucy supposedly wasn't human, but she was only a distant ancestor of modern humans. And so I would say that it's scientifically dishonest to complete her skeleton using the modern human body as the template, because that's what you're supposed to be proving. You shouldn't start out with that assumption.
所以呢，大家可以再注意一下哈，那他们真的是居然很诚实的说他们这个是怎么把这个骨架拼起来的，是完全是根据人体的结构学、人体的骨骼学。那既然我们现在就回到之前讲的那个循环逻辑哈，你既然是要证明它是进化的那个环节，你就不能拿最后已经成型的来作为理论来创建这个骨架。所以很有意思，他们也很诚实的承认说是根据现在人类的骨架学把这个拼起来的。
Okay.
想象了那些不存在的部分。
Sorry. Okay,
sorry.
So we'll take a little closer look at the Lucy skeleton. And so what I want to ask is, how much is actual fossil evidence and how much has been filled in by the imaginations of the evolutionary theorists and artists?
我想进一步跟你们解释一下，到底多少是真的找到了这些骨头的碎片，对多少是完全是想象出来的。你们可以看一下这上面的图片。
So on the left, what you see here are just the fossil fragments themselves. In the middle photo, we see what evolutionists have determined that the life-size Lucy probably looked like. And I want you to notice, just comparing the picture on the far left and the middle picture, how much more she resembles a human being than she does an animal like a chimpanzee or gorilla.
那所以呢，最左边这个图片就是真正找到的这些化石碎片。那么你可以看到，就是根据这一些化石碎片，科学家完成了中间的这个图，就是 Lucy 看起来应该是什么样的。你可以看一下，它跟人还有这最右边这张照片是大猩猩、黑猩猩的类似度。
And I want especially sorry, Sharon, this wasn't on the notes, but especially notice her feet, how human-like her feet look. We're going to take a closer look at that in just a minute.
我特别想指出大家看一下他的双脚，我们等一下要继续要仔细的去讨论一下，所以请大家关注一下他的双脚多么像人的脚。
Okay, and so on the right, the picture on the far right is another reconstruction that's based upon exactly these same fossil pieces. And this reconstruction is found at the Creation Museum in Kentucky.
那所以根据这些最左边这些化石碎片哈，也可以重新组装成，或是把它重新模拟成最右面这个大猩猩的图片。这个是在另外一个博物馆，叫做Rich, can you say which museum this is? The right picture?
Yeah, it's just called the Creation Museum. It's Kenham, Answers in Genesis. They're the ones who built it. It's in, I think, Prestonburg, Kentucky.
OK， 这个图书对不起，这个博物馆是在美国的肯塔基的创世论神创论博物馆里面的。所以你看到科学家呢，根据这些同样的骨头碎片，那么他们其实可以把它拼凑出完全不同的形象来。
Okay, so the fascinating thing, and this happens all the time in these types of evolutionary scenarios, we're all looking at the same evidence, okay? We're looking at the same fossil evidence, but it leads to very different reconstructions. Why is that the case? And the answer is because the assumptions or the presuppositions are different.
所以呢，再次指出哈，我们可以看到科学家用同样的证据，在这里就是这些化石的碎片，却可以组成完全不同的形象出来，这是为什么呢？就是因为完全他们的预设是不一样的。
Okay, so let's look at some evidence against Lucy being our ancestor.
那我们再仔细的看一下这些他们认为 Lucy 是我们的祖先的一些证据。
So first we'll notice that, and this wildly contradicts the evolutionary hypothesis, but there's no clear evidence that Lucy was bipedal or bipedal.
这些证据我刚刚讲的就是这些证据，就是说这些证据为什么是错的证据。首先呢，就是根本没有任何迹象表明 Lucy 是双脚直立行走的。
And if you look at the history, why did they think that Lucy walked on 2 feet? This was based upon speculation from human-like fossil footprints that were found 1,600 kilometers away in Tanzania.
首先我想讲一下他们为什么认为 Lucy 是直立行走的，是根据一个有点像人的这个脚印，而这个脚印的化石是在1600公里以外的坦桑尼亚发现的。你还记得吗？刚才 Lucy 是在埃塞俄比亚被挖出来的，可是这个脚印却是在1600公里以外的地方。
And so evolutionists believe that these footprints, they start out with the assumption these footprints are too old to be human, and because of that, they must attribute them to a different ancestral species.
那他们为什么认为这个就一定要跟 Lucy 连在一起呢？是因为他们认为这些脚印太古老了。那时候他们认为，根据进化论，人都还没有出现，所以肯定不能是人的。但是呢，它也有点像人，所以就必然去属于这个 Lucy 这一类南方的类人猿。
Okay, but however, these footprints, the ones that are 1,600 kilometers away, or 1,000 miles, these footprints look just like the footprints of modern humans that you would see in the sand at the beach.
那其实你如果看这些脚印的话呢，跟今天你在沙滩上看到人的脚印没有什么区别。
Okay, so we'll move on here. More evidence against Lucy being our ancestor. More bones of Australopithecus have been discovered in recent years and would suggest that the more evidence that's come in would suggest that Australopithecus was just another chimpanzee-like species that has since gone extinct.
那所以最近呢，人们发现了越来越多的化石，越来越多的化石的碎片、化石的这些证据呢，证明其实这种南方古猿，它只不过是一种真的就是一种大猩猩，它们只不过后来灭绝了。
And so here is some of that evidence. The fingers and toes are curved like the finger bones of tree-dwelling apes, and unlike human fingers, we have very straight fingers.
那首先呢，就是看到它们的手指跟脚趾的骨头，他们这些所谓的南方类人猿哈，被认为是最古老的人类，他们还是很弯曲的，适于在树上生活，而不是像人一样是非常直的。
Okay, Lucy's shoulders or Australopithecus shoulders are nearly identical to the shoulder construction of living apes.
那 Lucy 呢，她的肩膀的骨头、肩骨跟现在的猿猴的肩骨几乎没有区别，几乎是一模一样的。
The Australopithecus the wrist bones resemble those of the knuckle walking apes like a gorilla.
那它的这个腕骨呢，也跟现在在地上爬行的这种大猩猩非常非常相像。
And Lucy's hands, or the Australopithecus hands, are barely distinguishable from the hands of a modern chimpanzee.
那 Lucy 的手呢，她手的骨头呢，跟现在这些大猩猩的手骨居然几乎没有区别，根本没有办法辨别出有什么不同。
Okay, so this is a graphic of a comparison of a modern gorilla finger construction, finger bone construction, the construction of the Australopithecus or Lucy, and then on the far right, the modern human finger bones.
那你可以看到，现在图片上有3张图，最左边的就是现在大猩猩的手指头的骨头，中间就是这个 Lucy 的骨头。最右边就是现在人类的手骨。
And okay, so according to this would suggest that Lucy probably still spent a lot of time, or maybe even most of the time, dwelling in trees.
你看到它跟现在大猩猩的骨头是非常相像的，它是弯的，而且尤其是你看到那个指尖的那个地方，这就是证明它是就是用手经常在地上走的。并且它要生活在树上，更适合生活在树上。
Okay, and on the next slide here, we see bones of the foot, because I mentioned those foot bones earlier. Bones of the foot of modern species. So on the left is the human feet bones. Next to that, the pan troglodytes. That's just a common chimpanzee. The third one is the gorilla. And on the far right, the feet bones of a modern orangutan.
那所以这个左边这个图片上面有4个图哈，第一个当然就是现在人类的脚骨，这个是脚，然后左边第2个属呢是黑猩猩的，第3个是大猩猩的，那么最后一个是这种大猿，一种是现在目前还在的那种，刚开始图片上比较黄色那种大的猿猴。
And so there on the bottom right, what you see are the bones, the feet bones of the Australopithecus, of Lucy.
那最右边这个脚上的图就是 Lucy 的脚骨。
Now notice how much different those are. Remember that picture we just at the museum we saw, and Lucy's feet look just like modern human feet? Well, according to this evidence, no, her feet didn't look anything like modern human feet. They look very much like the feet of a modern chimpanzee.
那所以呢，你还记得吗？刚才我特别指出说要注意一下 Lucy 的脚，就是那个博物馆的那个图片哈。你看从这个骨头上可以看，它其实跟这个黑猩猩的那个骨头几乎没有区别，却跟人的骨头有非常大的差别。但是那张图里面却把它的脚弄得好像很像人的脚。
Okay, so I wanted to finally look at quickly at a skull comparison between Lucy and the modern chimpanzee. 那
我们现在再比较一下它们的头骨、颅骨。 Lucy 跟现代人有什么不一样？不，跟现代的猿猴有什么不一样？
And so you'll notice the name there for Lucy is a little different. The A. afarensis, that's the full scientific name of one of the Australopithecus species. So in other words, the A is for Australopithecus, and then the species name would be afarensis.
左边呢，这个就是他们科学家给 Lucy 的这种特别正式的命名。A 就是代表南方古猿，后边这个 Farensis 就是代表这个物种，所以给它起了一个特别的名字，专指 Lucy 的这一类的类人猿。
Okay, so just notice clearly these skulls are extremely similar, especially when you notice like the eye orbits and then the shape of actually the skull. There may be some minor differences in the mouth, but really these are virtually identical and both very, very different from the skull of humans.
你仔细观察一下呢，这个 Lucy 的头骨跟现在这个猿猴的头骨其实非常像，尤其是你看的眼睛跟鼻子，可能嘴那边稍微有一点不同，但是基本上没有太大的区别。反而这两个跟现在人的头骨都非常非常的不同。
Okay, so next we want to move to our next species, which is the Homo habilis, which means handy man.
那我们就看下一个种类哈，他们叫做直立人 handyman。
And so the Homo habilis was alleged by evolutionists to have lived somewhere between 2.3 and 1.65 million years ago.
对不起，我改变一下这个，改正一下，这种 Homo habilis 不叫直立人哈，叫能人，或者是叫巧人，他是生活在230万年到165万年前左右，科学家是这样声称的。
They estimate the brain size to be approximately 600 cubic centimeters.
那么它们的脑容量稍微比刚才那个 Lucy 稍微大一点，有600毫升左右了。
So this is the real important part here. This is fascinating. All of this information about Homo habilis is based upon just three examples of Homo habilis fossils. And we're going to take a look at these. They're just fragments of skulls and a few teeth.
最有意思的是，到目前为止只找到3个这种所谓能人的骨头的碎片，也就只有几个头骨上几个碎片，还有几个牙齿。
And even today, with evolutionists have different opinions. Many evolutionists today argue that Homo habilis is really just another species of Australopithecus, that it shouldn't even be a separate species.
所以其实在这些进化的科学家当中啊，他们自己也有很大的纷争。很多科学家认为它这根本就不是一种新的物种，就是南方古猿的一些碎片而已，是一样的。
Okay, and so here is the actual fossil evidence of Homo habilis.
那现在图片上你看到的就是这几个找到的这些头骨的碎片，这种能人哈或者是巧人的头骨碎片。
So let's take a look. Just for time's sake, we'll focus on the skull in the middle. The white bones represent, again, the actual fossils that were discovered. The black parts of the cast represent parts that it was filled in using evolutionary assumptions.
我们今天主要看一下，就是关注在中间这个图片上，白色的呢是真正找到的那些化石碎片，黑色是这些进化科学家根据他们的预设，把它想象出来的。
And then, of course, on the far right, it's just the actual fossils themselves that were discovered. Nothing has been filled in, and of course, you can see we just have a few fragments of skull bone and a piece of a jaw.
那最右边的图片就是他们真正找到的化石，显然只有2-3片或者几片头骨，然后有一个这个下颌骨。
Okay, so based upon that, okay, here is what the evolutionary theorists and the artists that work with them tell us that Homo habilis looked like.
那根据你刚才看到那几个骨头的碎片呢，这些进化论学家还有他们的艺术家们呢，就想象出了这个形象，他们认为这个能人或这个巧人看起来应该是这个样子。
So my question, it should be your question too, is how do they know all of this? Because this is what you see in textbooks and at museums. How do they know all of this based upon that tiny little bit of fossil information?
所以我们大家都要问一个问题，那根据那几个骨头碎片，那这整个的这个形象是怎么能推算出就这个形象呢？
Okay, so I just want a couple observations here as we wrap this section up. There is zero evidence that the handyman, Homo habilis, was either handy or a man. Okay, that's cheating to smuggle that word man when you're trying to be proving that this is part of the evolution of man is not intellectually honest.
所以呢，我想说哈，到目前为止其实都没有任何的证明，刚才看到的这所谓的能人或巧人，他们既不能也不巧，而且也不是人。他们这个科学家把这2个字放在一起哈，说是人，其实真的是蛮不道义的，就是你根本不能证明他是人，但是你就给他起个名字叫人，这个属于偷换概念。
Okay, so the actual evidence suggests that Homo habilis is the same or very similar species as the Australopithecus or Lucy. And as we just saw, Australopithecus was probably just a chimpanzee-like species that went extinct a long time ago.
况且他们自己都认为这个所谓的能人跟刚才讲的南方古猿 Lucy 没有什么区别。我们刚才也看到了，那 Lucy 那个南方古猿，它本来就是一种绝种的黑猩猩而已。
Okay, so another note: evolutionary theorists have created this hypothetical intermediate or this missing link, so-called missing link, not because the evidence requires it, but because it is required by the story of human evolution. And this is the story that they want to tell and they want to sell.
那讲真的，进化论学家创造出这种假想的中间产物，不是因为他们有这方面的证据，而是因为呢，他们的这个讲述的这个故事，人类是进化来的这个故事呢，是需要这样的中间物，所以他们就把这个中间物给创造出来了。
Okay, so everything we've been talking about so far with the Australopithecus and then the Homo habilis, from the creationist perspective, we would our interpretation of those data points is that these are mere apes. These are extinct ape species and they're not humans. Whereas we're going to contrast that now with Homo erectus and the Neanderthals. And we would say that both Homo erectus and Neanderthals are actually fully human creatures and not apes.
那所以呢，现在我们到了一个分界岭的地方哈，我们刚才讨论的这2种所谓的类人猿，一个叫南方古猿，一个叫巧人或能人，我们认为他们其实只不过是猿，根本不是人。那我们下一部分要讨论2个，还记得吗？我们有4个图片哈，那另外2个就有了这个 Homo， 就是这个人的名字在里面，是属于真正的人类了。我们要想看到这些，我们想讨论一下，那这些是不是只是类人呢，还是他们已经是真正的人了？
Okay, so we want to take a look here at the Homo erectus and what this name means is upright man.
那首先我们想讲一下这个直立人哈，就这个叫现在这个名字是在他们认为他是生活在200多万年前的。
So Homo erectus was alleged by the evolutionists to have lived approximately 2 million years ago.
Sorry, I just translated that already. Go ahead.
And so very, like we had Lucy with Australopithecus, Java man is sort of the key example of Homo erectus, was discovered by the Dutch anatomist and geologist Eugene Dubois in the Dutch East Indies or Indonesia in 1890.
就好像 Lucy 是南方古猿的一个代表作，那这边典型的这个直立人呢，是一个叫爪哇人，是1890年由荷兰的解剖学家和地质学家 Eugene 在荷兰的东印度群岛也就是如今的印度尼西亚发现。
And Java man is based on just a skull cap, a piece of the skull, and a leg bone, a femur bone.
那这个爪哇人呢，就跟 Lucy 也很像哈，也只有一些的骨头碎片，最主要的是一个头盖骨，还有就是腿骨。
The brain size of Homo erectus, Java man, was estimated to be around 1,000 cubic centimeters, but some estimates would put that as high as 1,250 cubic centimeters.
那他们说这个爪哇人的脑容量已经达到了1000毫升，甚至说可能有达到了1250毫升了。
And so that's well within the range of the brain size of modern humans.
所以这个就跟现代人的脑容量已经非常接近了。
Okay, so the evidence suggests that Homo erectus was fully human.
那所以证据显示呢，这些所谓的直立人，他们就是真正的人，并不是一个过渡状态。
And so what we see here is, is reconstructions based upon the bones, based upon the fossil discoveries of Homo erectus.
那现在图片上显示的就是根据那个头盖骨跟腿骨，把它重新造出来的一个形象。
So let's take a look at the full skeleton. So on the left here we have Homo erectus, and what I did is I put an example of the Neanderthal, which all evolutionists will admit was a human species. I put that next to the Homo erectus skeleton for comparison.
那这个图片上你可以看到，最左边就是直立人的化石这个骨架的形象，中间呢我放了这个尼安特人。那所有的进化论学家也都完全承认尼安特人本身就已经是人。
And then on the far right, it's a comparison of the Neanderthal skeleton with the skeleton of a modern human. Basically, what you see is that the Neanderthals tended to be slightly shorter and slightly broader.
那最右边这个图片呢是尼安特人跟现代人的骨架的比较，你可以看到其实没有什么区别，只是尼安特人看起来比较矮一点，并且可能他们的骨架稍微宽一点。
So the main point here, what I would argue is it's not hard to imagine that all of these differences are just a matter of normal variations in human morphology.
你可以看得出哈，这些不同，它并不是物种的不同，而是只不过是人本身的这种大小、胖瘦不同而已。
Okay, so finally, I want here to turn our attention to the Neanderthals, or the Homo neanderthalensis, the Neanderthals.
那现在我们就主要重点讲一下尼安特人。
So I learned that that's the correct pronunciation from people who study these things. According to the evolutionists, the Neanderthals lived between about 430,000 years ago to around 40,000 years ago.
那根据这个进化论学家呢，尼安德特人，刚说的也不对哈，尼安德特人，他们是生活于旧石器时代，大约是距今43万年前到4万年前。
So this means that even according to the evolutionists, the Neanderthals were a truly human species.
那就算是进化论学家，他们也认为尼安德特人确实就是完全的人。
So in other words, that I wish I had it here, but that progression from the chimpanzee up through the intermediates to modern humans, the Neanderthals really shouldn't even be in there because they're just, again, another example of a human species.
那所以你还记得吗？最开始那个图片就是那些从小猩猩一直到人直立，其实尼安德特人根本就不应该出现在那个图片里，因为他是在最后一个人之前的那个哈，因为他本身就是人，就是现代人的一个代表而已。
And so while many biblical creationists like myself would dispute the dates that are given here, the evidence about Neanderthals is not in any way inconsistent with the Bible story of human origins and history.
当然了，很多圣经学家，包括像我这样的，我们相信神创论的，对这个尼安德特人生活的年代是持有不同意见的。但是呢，这个尼安德特人本身，他并没有跟圣经里面讲述人是怎么来的有任何的违背。
Okay, so I want to do a comparison here, just of skulls, the variation in human skull shapes over time and location of various groups of people. And so what you see here is a comparison on the left, a representation of the Neanderthal skull. You have the Homo erectus in the middle, and then on the far right, the layout of the modern human skull.
那所以我们现在看到图片上有3个头骨，最左边就是尼安德特人的头骨，中间是直立人的头骨，最右边是现代人的头骨。
And so I would argue that if even the evolutionists are going to admit that the Neanderthal is a human being, then by what criterion do we say that Homo erectus does not meet that same standard? It seems like it would fit in that same narrative.
那所以呢，进化论学家他们一致认为，尼安德特人就是真正的人。那要问一个问题，说你认为中间这个直立人跟这个尼安德特人有什么本质上的区别呢？
Okay, so I want to here talk about normal variation. Human beings, we come in all shapes and sizes, right? We have very short people, we have very tall people, we have very skinny people, we have very robust people. And so I just wanted to use one example of Yao Ming, right? Very, very tall guy, ex-NBA star, and just to illustrate that modern humans show a great variability in their physical features.
所以呢，大家对姚明都非常熟悉哈。我只是想用这个图片来说明一下，其实人本身就存在这种，形体上的差别。我们都有高有矮，有胖有瘦，对吧？所以你可以看一下，我们现在这些都是完全的人，的差别可以达到什么程度？
So if you have this much variability in modern humans, I think I want to illustrate that because any fossil we dig up from the past is going to be appealed to by the evolutionists to represent an average. But my question is, how do we know, what is the certain evidence that those fossils are truly the average for that alleged species?
那所以呢，我们就说这些科学家们挖出一个化石出来，那么他们就自然而然的认为这个化石代表了那一类人或那一代，无论这个化石是什么，那种物种的平均形象。但是我们怎么能知道它是平均的呢，而不是代表某一个个体呢？
So, we know, for example, that things like environment, things like nutrition, things like, with modern genetics, epigenetic effects can greatly modify the the structure and even the appearance, the size, those sorts of things of organisms.
那所以众所周知，我们就算看我们如今的世界也是一样，因为我们生活的环境不同，我们的营养的程度不同，吃的食物不同，还有这个基因的不同，现代人本身的形象，我们的高矮胖瘦跟外观的话都有很大的差别的。
Okay, so finally here, I want to look at variability. These are all skulls of modern, these are not fossils, modern human skulls.
所以呢，为了说明我刚才讲的，现在给大家看几个现代人的这个颅骨，这些不是化石，这些是真正的现代人的骨头。
And so typically, you know, what the evolutionists have as the basis of comparison is just the one on the upper right, sort of the standard or the average for a modern Caucasian skull.
那所以用来做比较的，现在最常用来跟那些化石做比较的，就是左上角这个Caucasian，就是白人。
But of course, you see other modern humans, fully modern humans, the Aborigines of Australia, bottom left, the sub-Saharan African skull, on the bottom right, Northeast Asian skull. There is a lot of variability in the features of these fully modern skulls, all from modern Homo sapiens species throughout the world.
那你可以看一下，另外3种呢，都是现在的现代人，完全生活在现代的这些人。右上角呢是澳大利亚的原住民，左下角呢是非洲的撒哈拉那边的黑人的头盖骨，那右下角是就是亚洲的人的头盖骨。
And so, like, if you think back a few slides, like there were some slight differences between the skull of the Homo erectus and the skull of the Neanderthal. They were slightly different, but I would say there were no differences that would exceed the differences of these modern human skulls.
那如果你再回到2个图片之前，你还记得吗？我展示了3个，一个是尼安德特人，中间那个是直立人，然后最右边是现代人。那个头骨的区别跟这种我们看到头骨的区别其实没有什么本质上的不同。
Okay, so I want to just draw a few conclusions, and I think for time's sake, because this has taken a little longer, hopefully this is good information for you guys. I think what I want to do is move the discussion of the alleged genetic or the DNA similarities between humans and in the great apes. We'll move that into the next presentation on this material.
OK， 所以呢，就是我们结论呢，因为时间的问题哈，这个稍微时间长了一点，我们会直接到下边基因方面那个结论，因为Rich 他准备了结论，其实蛮详细的哈，可能他要跳过一些。
So here are some conclusions for this part. Number one, evolutionists appeal to fossil evidence to create classes of supposed intermediate species, and these are required by their theory or their narrative.
那进化论者呢，他们呼吁使用化石证据，是因为他们的这个理论跟叙述，他们是需要这样的中间物种类别。
But biblical creationists, that's what I am, right? Biblical creationists look at the same evidence and using a different set of presuppositions, we interpret the evidence in a very different way.
那显然神创论呢，那我就是一个神创论者。我们看同样的证据，可是因为我们的预设是不一样的，所以我们最后的结论也完全不一样。我们把他们的证据可以用不同的方式来解读。
Okay. The supposed intermediates between apes and modern humans include extinct animals that were very similar to modern chimpanzees and orangutans. So we looked at the Australopithecus and the Homo habilis.
所以呢，这个进化论他们认为猿类和现代人类之间的中间产物呢，包括了好几种跟现代的黑猩猩跟大猩猩非常类似的动物，但是已经灭绝了。比如说就是刚才提到的一些古猿呐或猿人之类的， 那些智人，能人跟巧人。
And physical variations between groups of early humans also likely led to them being, I believe, misinterpreted by the evolutionists as intermediates. And so this would help us account for example, the Homo erectus and the Neanderthals.
那所以呢，人类群体之间的物理差异，可能导致了进化论者他们误解为中间人。就像刚才我们看到的哈，那些直立人、尼安德特人，根本就他们是人，只是因为个体之间的差异，被他们解读为是中间代。
And let me just add, I am not at all, this is a disclaimer, I'm not claiming that the evolutionists are deliberately lying to people. I don't think that. I don't think most evolutionists are trying to deceive or lie to people. I just think that they believe in a theory that causes them to interpret the evidence in a certain way, whereas biblical creationists, we believe something different. So we're all looking at the same information, but we come away with these very, very different conclusions.
我想声明一下，我并不是说这些进化论学者他们全都是撒谎的，而且他们全都是故意这样子撒谎。我确实认为他们真的相信他们的理论，所以他们就有他们的预设，然后他们看东西、看这些证据的方式就完全不同，完全是根据他们的预设来的。
Okay, so in other words, there's no real evidence that humans evolved from ancestral ape-like species. Therefore, there's no compelling scientific reason that would require us to replace the creation narrative that we read about in Genesis with some other version that is more, quote, scientific.
那换句话说呢，没有真正到目前为止都没有真正的证据表明人类是从类猿的这种物种进化来的，因此呢，也没有令人信服的科学理由，将神创论转化成所谓的更科学的这种方式来替代用更科学的方式来替代，其实完全没有这个必要，而且也没有证据这样做。
And so the bottom line, before we go to our breakout groups, very simple. The bottom line is that we have every reason to trust what the Bible tells us about human origins.
那所以呢，重要的是我们有充分的理由相信圣经告诉我们有关人类起源的信息是对的。
Okay, so again, when we pick back up, I'm sorry this took a little longer. It's a lot of material, but I think that's a good thing. We'll go back and we'll talk about DNA evidence, similarities and differences, and then also, of course, the psychological and behavioral differences between humans and the great ape species.
我这次准备了很多的信息哈，可能讲不完，没关系，我们下一次再继续讲，就会有关我刚才讲的第三部分基因还有生理上这些和心理上的不同。